Today's video is going to be a little bit different. In fact, we want to help you in case if you're traveling to Laos and give you a list of things that you should know before going there. First of all, there are many ways to get to Laos. If you get to Laos from Thailand, take the slow boat. Don't take an airplane, don't take a bus, take the slow boat. It was one of the best experiences that we had during this trip. To get the slow boat, you will need to cross the border from Chiang Rai to, you will go to KUANG. And then from there take the slow boat to Luang Prabang. The cost is 400,000 kip, which is about 35 Australian dollars. The trip lasts 2 full days, so you will board the boat at 11 AM the first day and keep going until you reach VANG at around 5 or 6 PM. You will sleep there one night, you will have to pay your own hotel. And then the second day you will start again at 9 AM or 8 AM, I'm not sure, and you will get to Luang Prabang at 5 PM. It's the most fun way to get to Laos, and we highly recommend it. Really the best experience of our trip.
I would go so far to say as don't fly directly into Luang Prabang, fly into Thailand and take the slow boat regardless, because it's that much fun.
And when you take the slow boat, make sure to arrive there early, because the first day we ended up in the engine room and was very loud and very smelly and wasn't much fun, but it was cool. We still met some very cool people, so it was still worth it. But if you can, get there early.
The next thing you need to know about Laos is that you will need to buy a bigger wallet. Their currency value is so much larger than what we have here in the Western world. For example, 100,000 kip is equal to not quite 9 Australian dollars. And I think at one point for the hotel stay we paid nearly 4 million kip just at once. So you will receive larger bills. I think the largest bill from memory is 100,000, but I can't quite be sure about that. And so you can imagine 4 million in $100,000 bills, it adds up to quite a big stack. So you need to get used to counting and calculating large numbers.
Another thing that you need to know about Laos is that it is an amazingly friendly place. The people that we met there, they were amazing, they were so friendly, so willing to speak to tourists. Even if Lao people had a troubled past with the Western people, they're still very willing to have you in their country, and they really love tourists. Not all of them speak good English, but most of them will be able to communicate and have a conversation good enough. Yeah.
If you want to give back to the Lao people, there's organisations in Siem Reap such as Big Brother Mouse, Big Sister Mouse, where you can go and have a conversation with a local and it helps them improve their English. So that's a way to give back. Next point is more of a personal one for us. It's more of our opinion, but when you're travelling to a country like Laos, I believe it's polite to try and learn a little bit of the language so you can try and communicate in their own language. For example, in Laos, to say hello, it's Savadi, I think.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And to say thank you is Kob Jai, or Kob Jai Lai Lai, which means thank you very much. It's just the little things like that. It helps to come across as more personal, not so touristy, and puts a smile on people's faces, even if you get it wrong.
There's all the Lao that we know, by the way.
Yeah, we were learning, but we didn't spend enough time there.
Another thing that you should know about Laos is that food is very similar to Thai food. You won't get as many options though. You won't find a market or street food every other corner like you do in Thailand. It's more like a restaurant kind of food, or you really need to go in the specific market to find food. Also, Laos has been a French colony, so you will find a lot of bakeries that sell awesome baguettes and sandwiches. In fact, when we took the slow boat, we had a lot of options at the harbor to get sandwiches, and usually it's a Western style sandwich. Good bread with eggs, avocado or tofu and lettuce, vegetables, etc.
Next point is, even though it is Southeast Asia, so it is relatively cheaper than what we are used to, it is slightly more expensive than Thailand in our experience where we went. The difference is a matter of $1 or $2 per transaction, so it's not that big a deal, but it's something to be aware of. If you come from Thailand and you expect it to be the same price, it won't be, it'll just be a little bit more. It's okay, it's not a big deal.
Bearing in mind that we always stay in decent hotels, we don't stay in hostels, but we also don't stay in the top hotel. In Thailand we were paying about 30 Australian dollars per night, while in Luang Prabang the cheapest option that we found for that same quality hotel was $54. But we had free breakfast and the hotel was actually amazing, and the Wi-Fi was better than in Australia.
On the second part of our Laos experience, of our Laos trip, we went to a place called VANG. This place is known as one of the cheapest places in the world to go hot air ballooning, which I think is really cool. From our hotel we could see them, see the balloon sort of drift into town and touch down and then drift off into the sky again. Really amazing. So if you wanted to do that, VANG in Laos is one of the cheapest places in the world.
We actually didn't do it because unfortunately we didn't have enough time, but we checked the prices, and I think for sunset flight it was about $80 or $90.
Can't remember.
I'm scared of heights, so he didn't check.
I didn't check. Not only hot air ballooning, there are also a range of other activities to do there as well. You can do, from the top of my head, you can do kayaking, you can do off-road four-wheel driving, you can do moto paragliding, which is like paragliding with a motor on the back. There's a whole range of things you can do. I think you can do skydiving, I'm not sure without checking, but if you can't, we'll put it below.
Or you can rent a scooter, which is a kind of extreme sport itself.
Oh, that was fun. Watch out for cows.
Yeah, watch out for cows, we almost got killed by one. Talking about VIENG, one other thing that you should know is that VIENG is not a party town anymore. It used to be the party town where all the backpackers were going to do drugs and alcohol and get drunk and make a mess, basically. And then quite a few people died because they were getting drunk or getting drugs and they were going tubing in the river, which became quite infamous. So the government of Laos in the last few years is trying to rebrand VIENG and try to target more of older tourists and less backpackers. You can still find the old bar in which you can party, but it's not as big as a party town anymore, which is great for us.
One thing you absolutely need to put on your bucket list before you die, lifelong bucket list, you have to do it, no excuses, is to go see the waterfall at Luang Prabang. It's called KUANG. It's absolutely amazing. It's one of the best things we've ever seen ever in our life, and I can guarantee it's one of the best things you'll ever see as well. Absolutely stunning. You need to see it to believe it. The water's incredibly blue. The nature's incredible. There's walks up to the top. If you want to, you can swim there. There's paths. And in the park leading up to it, you can see the Moon Bear Rescue Centre, which is definitely something to see as well. To get there, you can either go in a tour like we did, a guided tour, or you can rent a scooter or private transport, get there yourself, pay the entry fee, and up you go. And you can spend all day there if you do it that way. If you do it in a tour group like us, the price is included in the price of your tour, but you're on a time frame, so you don't get to spend as much time there as you might like.
I'm not sure how much the entry fee for the waterfall is, but I think it's only a couple of bucks. It shouldn't be much.
Definitely worth it.
Something very important you need to know about Laos is that it's a mountain country, so transport takes forever and it's all very twisty. That's why the best option to go from Wai Xai to Luang Prabang is to take the slow boat. When we did the trip back from Luang Prabang to Thailand, we took a bus. It took forever, it was a night bus, it wasn't comfortable, the road was very twisty, and thanks God we took motion sickness pills, because otherwise the trip would have gone very, very bad. It was fun though. In the recent years, the Laos government started building some high-speed trains. You can get now one of these trains from Luang Prabang to VIENG. It all goes through the mountain. In fact, you won't see much of the view, but it's very fast. It takes about 45 minutes, and if you want to take the bus to do the same trip, it will take 6 hours because it will go around the mountain. It's not super cheap. I think we paid $15 each for the ticket for only 45 minutes ride, but the train is very nice. It's Western style train, and you have this beautiful railway station that is really worth seeing. So very important, remember, if you travel by land in Laos, always have with you motion sickness tablets.
The last point on our list is something that we were very conflicted with. During our travels in Laos, we would see small children and not so small children selling items to try and get some money to either support their families or to support themselves. We were very tempted to buy from them until we spoke to our local tour guide. He advised us not to, and there's a good reason for it. If we were to buy from them, we would encourage them because we'd be giving them money and they wouldn't be going to school anymore.
Not just then, but also if the other kids in the village see these kids making money, they will start selling things as well instead of going to school. And then all the kids of the village will quit school and try to sell stuff to tourists. So yeah, don't buy from kids. I know that it feels like you're going to support them, but really you are
you're doing more damage than what you think.
Thank you.
In a long-term sort of way. It feels good in the moment, but long-term it's doing damage, so please don't do it.
Alright, that's all for this video. We hope that we have been helpful. If you have been to Laos and you have other recommendations, please let us know in the comments so it can be useful to everyone.
Yes, we love Laos. Definitely come visit. You won't regret it. That's all for this video. If you like what we do, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a subscribe, share amongst your friends. Give us a comment, let us know if you're coming here, and we'll see you in the next one.